Hi everybody, my name is Dayle. I've been on staff at Lutheran Hills for the past 3 summers. I'm out here at Ball State University studying biology, and I'm sitting in my hammock getting ready to tell you some fun facts about the plants and animals that we have at camp each summer. One of the most common parts of nature that we see all the time at camp is trees. We have tons of them at all 3 properties. Did you know that there are 2 main categories of trees? Deciduous and coniferous. Deciduous trees are trees that lose their leaves every fall. So that's trees like a sassafras or an oak or a maple. Those may be the ones that you're most familiar with. But there's another type of tree called coniferous trees. Coniferous trees have cones.
Most pine trees are not native to Indiana, which means usually when you see a pine tree, someone planted it. And these trees here, we think were planted by the state to control erosion, which means there were no trees here, and people were worried about lots of rain causing the soil to wash away because there were no roots to hold the soil in. So actually, this part of the forest that our blue trail goes through is not part of Lutheran Hills. We actually don't own this. It's actually state property. And they have just a little square, and it's all of these pine trees. So
this is a geode I've taken from our very own Lutheran Hills. As you can see on this side, it looks like any other large rock, maybe a tad bit lumpier than usual. But once they're broken open, you can see that they have a large variety of crystals inside of them.
Here we are in Geode Creek, and I am standing in the bed of Geode Creek. Let's see. And this is so named because we have lots of geodes. They're rocks like these that they're all different sizes. I just grabbed a small one, and you can see that it's they're pretty round, they're spherical, and they're bumpy like a brain.
Another cool thing, the size of your geode doesn't actually have to do with how long it's been in the ground. They're not like trees where you plant them and they get bigger. It's just how big the cavity was at the beginning. So you see people have massive geodes. Those are just how big it was. Now the amount of crystals inside is related to the time. So typically, sometimes you break open a geode and you might be disappointed to find it's completely filled out. It's not hollow at all. That's because it's been there longer. It's had more rain and it's full of these minerals that have formed these crystals. Speaking of, the crystals in most geodes are quartz crystals. Some of you may have heard them referred to as amethyst. That's the specific name for purple quartz crystals. Still quartz at the end of the day, but it does look a little bit cooler. As far as what colors this quartz crystal is, it depends on what minerals are going into it. So the most common color, I think I have a nice geode right here to showcase that, is this kind of brownish red inside of it. I can shine a flashlight into it in order so you guys can see it better, but I'll talk while I do that for you guys. There we go. Kind of see that orangey red? That's mainly due to iron and iron oxidizers. So when iron gets into these, it reacts with the oxygen that's present in the water and in the cavity, and it oxidizes, making that nice red color. This is actually kind of interesting because if you crack open a geode and you introduce more water into it, sometimes you can wash away some of the color, which is a little bit unfortunate. The rarest color of geodes, by the way, is not actually purple. It's blue because the mineral that forms it, I think it's called like cacodony. Forgive my pronunciation, but it's just extremely rare. You're more likely to find it in like South America and Africa. But if you find a blue geode in Indiana, you found something truly special. They can also come in green. Green is mostly due to nickel. And I've never personally found a green geode, but if you find one, I want a picture because those things are pretty cool.
Another really cool part of nature that we have at camp are our animals. The forests at all 3 camps are filled with wildlife. One really common animal that we have is the white-tailed deer. These deer are so cool, and they just like to hang out with us at camp. Sometimes we won't see them because they're really good at hiding, but they're there. Did you know that a white-tailed deer has to eat 8 pounds of plants every day for each 100 pounds of body weight? That means if you have a 200-pound deer, which is pretty normal, it has to eat 16 pounds of plants every day. Can you imagine how much grass that is? Crazy. Another animal that we have a lot of are wild turkeys. These birds are giant. They wander around the forest just doing their bird things, eating, sleeping, pooping, like animals do. But they have up to a 6-foot wingspan. I don't know how many of you play capture the flag, but that's how far away you have to stay from the people that you're guarding. So imagine a bird with that big of wings. Crazy.
Anyone know what this is? Yep, you guessed it. It's poop. Now, the question is, what kind of animal is it from? Well, we can tell by the size and what's inside of it. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it looks like there's fur inside of it, which means this came from a predator, a carnivore, something that eats other animals. And you can tell by the size, my guess is it is likely a coyote.
Thanks for learning about the nature that we have at Lomit Camps with me today. I hope that you have learned something new, or if you want to share something that you know about nature at camp, go ahead and drop it in the comment section below. When you're at camp this summer, be sure to appreciate all of the ways that you can see God's handiwork in creation around you. Thanks for coming. Bye.